Hello, my name is Mary Hill and I'm the principal at Pine Ridge Primary. I would like to take this time to welcome all of our pre-K students, kindergarten students, and their parents to our campus. Parents, I know that you have lots of questions and concerns about the upcoming year. So what I would like to do today is walk you through what a day will look like for your child on our campus, and hopefully this will help to answer some of those questions. I want to first begin by talking about registration. Some of you have already completed that registration, but if you have not gone online and set up your parent portal and completed all of the forms, then your child will not be on a class roster. So if you need help with the registration process, please feel free to call our office and we will help walk you through that process. Also, some of you, back in June, we had an early registration and you brought in documents for verification for pre-K or for residency. That did not include the registration process. Those were just documents that you brought in. So if you did that back in June and you thought that was all, there's still other things you need to do. So please go online to the parent portal, set that up so that we can get your child registered. Every year, one of the most exciting things that we do is our Meet the Teacher night. Unfortunately, this year we will not be able to have an in-person Meet the Teacher, but we will be holding a virtual Meet the Teacher. Each classroom teacher will be creating a video that they will be sharing with their students. Parents, it's very important that you have completed registration and that you have tied your student and their email together, because that is the way we're going to be reaching out to you. Once teachers get their class list, they will be contacting you either through email or through the phone number that you have in your registration. So please be sure that those are correct. Teachers will reach out. They will tell you about themselves, they'll introduce their students to their classroom, walk you through the building, and hopefully help to get to know the students a little bit better before the first day of school. This year, our school hours have changed just a bit from last year. The doors will open to receive students at 7:30, our tardy bell will ring at 8 o'clock, and our dismissal time will be 3:45. Parents, when you drop your students off or pick your students up from school, you will use the area near our cafeteria and gym. That means you will line up along the right side of Mill Ridge Drive. The front area of our school is used for bus drop-off and pickup, so no parents will be allowed down the front driveway of our school. There will be a video posted on our website that will go over exact instructions and give you some specific details on the car rider line, so please be sure to check back on our website if you will have a child who you will be dropping off or picking up. We will have staggered start times the first 2 days of school to help alleviate the long lines that we're expecting. Kindergarten students will be dropped off at 7:30 and pre-K students at 8:30. This will allow us to have more staff to help accommodate those students and get them into the building. If your student will be riding the bus the first 2 days of school, there will not be a staggered time for that. They will just come on the bus at regular time and we will accommodate those students. Parents, if you will be sending your child to school on the bus the first day of school, please make sure that you have some form of identification on that child, whether it's a name tag or their first and last name on their backpack, just something so that we will know who the student is so we can make sure we get them to the proper classroom. Parents, one of the greatest changes you're going to notice this year is that no parent will be able to walk their child into school on the first day of school. We will not be allowed to have parents in the building, so it's going to be very important when you get here and you drop your student off that we get the proper information from you. So one of the things we're going to do is, as you pull through our car rider line, there will be a staff member. They will give you, or they will have a lanyard like this for each student, and they will ask you for your student's first and last name, how they're getting home that day, if they're going to be a car rider or a bus rider, and if you have watch the Meet the Teacher video, we will ask for your teacher's name. This will immediately go around the child's neck so that we can walk that child to the correct classroom. That's going to be quite a change for us this year, and it will take some time. That's another reason why we're doing the staggered start time, because we know it's going to take extra time and extra staff to get kids from point A to point B, and we want to make sure that we're safe in doing that. So just be ready to give us some information when we come to get your child out of the car. Parents will also be given a placard like this on the first day of school. If your child is going to be a car rider in the afternoon, this is going to be very important for us. We're going to ask for their first and last name, and then their grade and their teacher's name. And then this placard will be hung in your car on your mirror. That will help us as we're calling names in the afternoon, and that will speed up our car rider line significantly. So please be sure that you have this when you come back to pick up your child. I know the first day of school is a big deal for parents, it's a big deal for kids, and one of the things I feel like COVID has taken away from us is that first day experience. And I really hate that you're not going to be able to walk in with your child and have that experience. But one of the things we would like to do, we do have a photo booth set up in our cafeteria, and each child will go through that on the first day of school, and the teacher will be taking a really cute first day of school picture for you so you can have a memento for that first day. All staff members at Pine Ridge will be required to wear a face mask or face shield throughout the day. Our students, because of their age, are not required to wear a mask. However, parents may request that their student wear a mask and send one with them. I would actually encourage parents to send a mask with your student because if they are wearing a mask throughout the day, they are less likely to be directly exposed to someone if they happen to come in contact with someone with COVID. So if you would like to send a mask, that is perfectly okay. We would encourage that. Also, all bus riders, no matter what their age, will have to wear a mask on the bus. So please, parents, if your child will be riding the bus to school or at home in the afternoons, please make sure that you send a face mask with them. Parents, please make sure before sending your child to school each day that you are checking them for any signs or symptoms of COVID. As your child enters the building, there will be temperature checks at each entryway. We have fever machines that will do a fever scan as they walk in. But hopefully we will have very few students who will come to school with fever because you've already checked those symptoms before coming to school. Once students come to school, there will be colored tape on the floors to help them get around the building in order to stay socially distanced. We have visuals throughout the hallways, arrows and paw prints and things like that to help them stay appropriate distance from others. We will also have staff members available to make sure that as students are entering the building that they are not in groups and that they are distanced when they're coming in through the doors. This year, as students arrive, they will go straight to their classrooms. We will not have a holding area. They won't go to the gym or cafeteria. They will go straight to their classrooms, and we will continue with breakfast in the classroom. Our classrooms have been set up to maintain social distance as much as possible. In years past, there were 3 or 4 students at a table. This year, our tables will only have 1 to 2 students at each table. And teachers have arranged furniture, moved things apart so that students have a good social distance between them. Also, there are procedures for walking in the hallway or when we're transitioning to where students will be social distanced as well. One of the key things for us is going to be hand washing. Teaching our students how to properly wash their hands and to wash their hands frequently will help us to keep them safe. So any practice that you can do at home as well on good hygiene and on washing those hands, that will greatly help us at school as well. Students will have lunch in the cafeteria each day. The cafeteria will look a little different from last year. The tables have been spread apart and students will have an assigned seat each day at their lunch table. There will not be a serving line that students will go through. The cafeteria ladies will bring the lunches to the table and the teacher will pass those out. This year, parents will be given a menu each month for pre-K and kindergarten. They will not have the choices like we did last year with the entree choices. There will just be 1 entree served each day, but you will know ahead of time what that will be. You can choose to send a lunch with your child. They can still bring their lunch if you choose. However, no outside food may be brought into the office to be delivered to students. And that is a change from in the past. And also, parents, you will not be allowed to eat with your child in the cafeteria. Students will have recess each day. We have a recess schedule for teachers to follow so that teachers know where to take their students each day, and they will rotate through different activities on the playground throughout the week. Students will be asked to wash their hands before and after playing on the playground equipment and to only play with their class. So we will have the playground, we'll have areas designated for each class to go each day. We will still have a specials time every day for students. Specials will consist of PE, music, library, and a special time for a social emotional learning lesson. And so students will rotate through those throughout the week. For the most part, PE will be held outdoors when the weather permits. Music will be held outdoors at times. And each class will go with only their class to those areas to keep our kids separated as much as possible. But they will have that each day. Our dismissal procedures are very much like they were last year. We will dismiss car riders from the cafeteria. We will also have some car riders dismissed from the gym to allow us to spread kids out. I will have a staff member who will go down the car rider line in the afternoons and take the students' names down, and those will be reported back to us so that we can call students one at a time to their spot. It will take us a little longer this year with dismissal, so just please be patient with us. We want to make sure that we're dismissing in the safest way possible, and we can't have kids crowded up into groups. So we will call those students one at a time to come to their colored cone, and that is how we will dismiss for car riders. Bus riders will be held in classrooms until it's closer time for their bus to be here, and then we will dismiss them to holding areas to board their bus. Parents, please be sure that you have placed the placard on your mirror so that we can call the names of those students and we'll know those right away. And also, if you're going to make any kind of change to dismissal for your student, please be sure that you've called the school by 2 o'clock so we can make those changes. Also, remember that we will be posting a video on our website that will go over the car rider pickup procedures and drop-off procedures. Parents, if you choose for your student to participate in our Lines Online program, please make sure that you filled out the forms online so that we have that information. The online program will look a little different from how it did back in the spring. If you are doing the Lines Online, your student will have a task or an activity every day that they will have to submit in order to be counted in attendance for that day. If that activity is not completed within that 24 hours, the student will be counted absent. So that's going to be a little change from last year. Also, all the activities that the teachers will be putting together for students and that students will have to submit back will be done strictly online. There will be no printed packets this year, which is another big change from what we did in the spring. Just a few things to keep in mind, parents. We will not be using the water fountains this year for obvious safety reasons, but you will be asked to send a water bottle to school with your students that will stay here. We will fill the water bottles up daily and throughout the day, so if you could just send one of those when your child comes to school. Also, if you plan to send a mask to school with your child, I ask that you start practicing with that. Get your students to be used to wearing that mask so that it's not a change when they start and they start back to school with us. Also, parents, I'm just asking for your patience the first few weeks of school. This is going to be a difficult couple of weeks to get used to. It's going to be hard for your students to adjust, and we're going to take things slow and so that we can be as safe as possible. So I just ask that you be patient with us in the car rider line and in the drop-off in the morning. We just want to make sure that we're doing everything correctly and safely for your student. If you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. We are here to answer your questions. You can call the front main office here at 936-328-2160, or you can reach out to me personally through email at mhill@livingstonisd.com, and I'll be happy to get back with you and try to answer any of your questions. We've talked about a lot of the changes that we're going to see this year, but there are some things that aren't going to change. We're still going to provide quality education for your students, whether they're remote learners or they're here on campus with us. Our teachers are going to work diligently to plan lessons that engage students in learning and that challenge them, and we're going to keep doing the good things that we know to do every day for your students. If your child is Lines on campus and they're here every day, we're going to be doing reading groups and math lessons and hands-on learning like we've always done at the primary level. Our kindergartners are going to learn how to read, and they're going to be reading books every day. So all of those good learning practices are still going to be in place. One of the things I tell my teachers every year is that the most important thing they can do every day is to make sure that their students know that they are loved and that they are safe and that they are valued, and that when they walk through their door that they matter. And we're going to be sure to do that this year as well. We're going to love your kids, we're going to love on them, we're going to make sure that they feel safe and valued and let them know every day how much they matter to us. We know that you're entrusting your child with us, and we do not take that lightly, and we're going to do everything we can to make this an enjoyable year and a safe year for your student. I was born and raised in Livingston. Went to school here my whole life, raised my children here. And my first teaching job was actually right here at Pine Ridge. I've been a district employee for 24 years. So this school is home to me, and this community is home to me, and I love both. And as a mom who's about to send her child back to school here, and as a community member, and as an employee of this district, I'm just so proud of what I've seen over the past few months. All the work and the planning that's happened behind the scenes to make it a safe return for your student has just been remarkable. The district leadership that we've had this year through all of this has just been amazing, and I just feel so proud to be a part of this, and I'm so excited about the year, and I just can't wait to have kids back on our campus. So I'm so looking forward to seeing all of you on August the 6th.